You know what's scaring the living hell out of me right now? I'm starting to believe. Because this Leaf team, they play so different. And they're up 2-0 on the Florida Panthers in round 2. Now, this series is far from over. You got to go back to sunrise and things could change. But you've done your job at home. And for the first time since 2004, the Leafs have won 6 total playoff games. And the first time since I was 8 years old. And let's be honest, at 8 years old, I really didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm watching this team finally play with a purpose. Finally have postseason moments. And they fend off the Florida Panthers today to win 4-3. They didn't do it with Sheldon Keefe. They didn't do it with Mike Babcock. But under year 1 of Craig Berube, they have bought into the system from day 1. And they've continued to buy into that system. The whole discourse for the past 2 days has been about Sam Bennett. And you listen to all the Leafs talk after the game, at practice yesterday, practice this morning. They're all asking about Sam Bennett. Is there going to be anything tonight? And they're like, nah, not really. And Craig Berube's like, look, we won in the hockey game. And they went out there tonight, and they made it happen. It got greasy at times. And we'll talk about it all. But the Leafs were able to find a way to prevail. And it was beautiful. Now, let's break it down. First period. Midway through, after the Leafs have had 2 power plays and got diddly squat going, they get a power play. Barkov rips it past Joe Woll. It's 1-0. Not where you want to be if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? At all. But then you get a late power play to the first period. And for the first minute, the unit does nothing. The 5-forward unit squat. Second unit goes out there. They dump the puck in. And this was the beautiful stuff for me, right? Watching these guys dump the puck in, and you watch Bobby McMahon and Max Domi both go for the hit, both connect on the hit, causing a turnover behind the net. Pacioretty picks it up, puts it back to, was it along the half boards, was that? Let me quickly check that. Max Domi picks it up, but it goes back down low to Pacioretty, who gives it back to Domi on the half boards, back to the point to Morgan Rielly, and Pacioretty makes a beeline to the front of the net. Rielly fires his puck along the ice, a gorgeous deflection from Maximus Pacioretty into the top part of the net, past Bob, and he buries it again just in case because he didn't see it going initially. It's 1-1. The Leafs tied the game late in the period. We're feeling good. Pacioretty on the power play from Rielly and Domi, and each team has a power play. Leafs are 3-1 in the power plays, though. And it was looking like, right with the second unit out there, it was looking like the Leafs were going to go 3 power plays, haven't scored a goal, and they get 1 opportunity and they bury it. It was looking that way, and we're like, that's not what you want to freaking see. But they buried that one late, tied the game after 20 minutes. Shots were 6-5 Florida after 1 period of play. And you go into the second, hoping to build off of that late goal. Well, 15 seconds in, that Lundell, Luosterainen, Marchand line has been incredible the first 2 games. They have been awesome, and they continued that again today. They dominate, and Brad Marchand buries one 15 seconds into the second period. A gut punch right there. But as the Leafs have continued to show throughout this postseason, they do not quit. They do not back off. They continue to fight. They continue to claw. And it is beautiful to watch. Let's talk about this, shall we? All right. Benoit has the puck behind his own net, and he basically gives it up. He gives it up to, who was that? Was that Matthew Tkachuk? I don't know who the hell it was. But he tries a centering pass, and OEL gets a piece of it to redirect it into the neutral zone, where Scott Laughton makes a nice play to win the... Pacioretty. Scott Laughton one was the other goal. But Pacioretty gets the puck, and he's flying. The ageless wonder flying through the neutral zone on the right side. Willie Nylander takes off when he sees Patches get it. And now it's a little bit of a 2-on-1 for the Leafs. The defender goes right at Pacioretty, basically making him pass the puck. And he lays a backhand pass right on the skate of Willie Nylander. But for the ability for Sir William to go skate to stick, to backhand over the goaltender, kind of like a flick over the glove, is beautiful stuff. And just like that, the Leafs have tied the game. That was about 4 minutes in to the second period. So after they score 15 seconds and the Leafs answered 4 minutes later, Pacioretty and OEL with assists. We are tied. We're feeling good. Through the second period, it's kind of back and forth, right? There's not really any crazy momentum. All the shenanigans start happening. And let's talk about it. So, I'm a Leaf fan through and through, obviously. But Scott Laughton drove Evan Rodriguez right in the numbers into the boards. And they called it embellishment. I think the penalties were 2 for roughing for... I can't remember who that got the other penalty. Scott Laughton got 4 for boarding. Or 4 for roughing, I guess they called it. And Evan Rodriguez, who was shaken up and went to the locker room, regardless of if he was faking it, trying to get a call, whatever the case may be. I don't think he was. He gets an embellishment call. And look, I'm a Leaf fan, and I was like, "This is 5-on-5 hockey now?" I don't understand it. I think the referees were pathetic all game long, both sides, just putrid. Right? Because then after that, it was shenanigans after shenanigans. Holmberg takes a penalty after getting blindsided by Seth Jones, who did that quite a few times today. And no call there. So he goes after a guy, knocks him down. Was it Seth Jones again? I can't remember who he knocked down. But regardless, he gets a call. And then after that, the whistles were just gone. Like, they just literally threw them away at that point. There were lots of calls that could have been made. They chose not to. It eventually settled down, and you go into and you're like, okay, this is crazy stuff. And then with under 3 minutes to go in the second period, after all this absolute mayhem, can we talk about the give and go in the neutral zone? So, Scott Laughton, did he get a point on this goal? He did not. He did not get a point on the goal, but man, he made that play happen, right? Who was that? Stevie Lorentz? Yeah. Gives it to Scott Laughton in the middle of the ice, but he bodies his man. Was that Nate Schmidt? And wins that puck battle to get it across to Morgan Riley. And Lorentz, right after he dishes it to Scott Laughton, takes off into the middle of the ice, right? And then Riley gives it right back to Lorentz, who's on a little mini 2-on-1. He's on his backhand, and the feed to Max Domi is beautiful. The quick snap release from Max Domi. And just like that, the Leafs have taken the lead. It's 3-2 with under 3 to play in the second period. They close out the period strong, and they go into the third with the lead 3-2. Shots on goal were 11-9 in favor of Florida, but the Leafs have the advantage going into the third period. And I'm thinking to myself, and I tweeted it out, check out the Twitter down below. I was going crazy during the game. I was mentioning 20 minutes, fellas, lock this game in. And they go in the third period, and it's a lot of Florida to start. And then Lundell with a great pass from Aaron Ekblad along the ice, basically along the goal line. Great shot, or great pass from Ekblad, redirected in by Lundell. And just like that, we're tied at 3. It's not what you want to see. However, as we saw in game 1, where Morgan Riley scored 19 seconds after they scored a goal. Was it 17 seconds this time? Yeah, 17 seconds after that. And oh, baby. This is crazy stuff. So let me try to find this right. Do we have a whole highlight pack? No, we don't. But regardless, puck goes around the boards. And Mitch Marner fires this thing on. And there's a great screen in front by Matthew Nyes. It goes right over the shoulder. Bobrovsky, post and in. Dad power for Mitch Marner, who hadn't scored since game 1 of the playoffs. But it doesn't matter because that's a go-ahead goal in the third period, right after they tied the game. 5:50 in, Marner from McCabe and Matthews, and just like that, you got the lead again. And I'm yelling at the TV at this point. I'm a complete degenerate. Boys, score another one. Keep pushing. Like, can we not sit back and let them just come at us like crazy, please? And they kind of did at times, but in the end, there was just a lot of biting my nails. And then the dying 3 minutes, or 2:55, I believe it was, with Bobrovsky on the bench, with the extra attacker on, pandemonium, just chaos in front of the net. Also, Jake McCabe swiping off the line. Joe Wall's making toe saves on Semenskevich. I mean, it's just banana land tonight at Scotiabank Arena, and the fellas prevail 4-3. 3. Shots on goal, 11-6 Florida in the third period, 28-20 Florida for the game. Leafs, yet again, dominate the faceoff dot, which is so crucial. 37-22 in this game. Leafs were 1 for 3 in the power play. They were 1 for 2. So after that first period of just a bunch of stuff, and obviously they had the Holmberg power play in the second period, there was nothing the rest of the way. Leafs won in hits, 41-39, and Joe Woll, 3 goals on 28 shots. I didn't think he had a great start to the game. I didn't like the Barkov goal, just kind of beat him clean, but I thought overall he was awesome, and of course making some big saves late in this contest to keep the Leafs up 1 goal, and you got to give him a ton of credit for that. Coming in here cold, now he's ready. Now Joe Woll's ready, and he's had a full game under his belt, a full start. Awesome stuff. But let's be honest here, Leafs Nation. The player of the game, you can give it to Joe Woll if you want. I wouldn't disagree with you. But Max Pacioretty has 6 points in his last 3 games. He had a goal and an assist today, and he had 7 hits. The guy's a mutant, and he only played 12 minutes. He's making the most of it and doing some incredible things. Max Domi, goal and an assist. Marner, goal and a +1. Nylander, goal. Riley, playoff Mo, 2 assists and a +1. Austin Matthews, who I'm still looking for more. I love the defensive play. I get it. You're making 14 sheets, bud. You got 2 goals in the playoffs. Come on, bud. Yeah, look, he had an assist. He was a +1, but 3 shots on net, 2 hits, 1 block shot. He played almost 23. He played over 23 and a half minutes. I want to see more from Austin. I really do. Because everyone else is chipping in, and then you're your captain. And I'm like, he's great, playing great defensively. I get it. But man, it's frustrating to watch. Jake McCabe, an assist and a +1. Steven Lorentz and OEL all had assists as well in the contest, but it cannot go unnoticed. The consistent play from these guys. The 5 block shots from Chris Tanev, taking a booming hit, going to the bench, clearly favoring something, does not miss a shift. Just a mule. Simon Benoit, 5 block shots today. The Leafs overall, I think it was 26-8 in block shots. They wanted this game, and they protected the net, and that's what they did. What did we talk about in the round 2 preview? Their forecheck in Florida, right? Their forecheck was better today than it was in game 1, but the Leafs were able to weather every storm and find a way to clear the puck, and it was just so nice to watch. All right, now the series shifts. Now it goes to Sunrise. And I know I said it in the Ottawa series, and it is what happened. You go there, you get a split. Okay? Don't expect to go there and take both. I know Kawhi Leonard would say otherwise. But that place is going to be rocking. And you know, just like we said against the Ottawa Senators, you know that first 5-10 minutes in Florida on Friday night, they're going to come out flying. Find a way to weather the storm and counterpunch. All right? But the boys did their job at home. They did exactly what they needed to do. Go find a way to take at least 1 from the Panthers and Sunrise. All right? So, you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the game today, because, boy, what a game. Whether it was shenanigans, whether it was clutch goals, big saves, pandemonium at the end, just all kinds of fun stuff. Hit that like button. Do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. You guys know that's already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and of course TikTok is down below. So follow up there if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you guys Jay's edition, I guess, later tonight. What the hell's the score? Are they losing yet? No, 0-0, but they got second and third. Nobody out to the Angels. Lovely stuff there. Yeah, so I'll be staying up again for that nonsense. But for the Toronto Maple Leafs, because that's all we care about right now, Friday night, I got softball. Don't worry. Phones will be streaming. 7 o'clock puck drop in Sunrise, Florida. Leafs, Panthers, Game 3. I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say what, but you guys can understand it. Can they do it again? All right. So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed the video. And, of course, this game tonight. Talk to you guys then.